Hey there, Marianne here. This is my final social media project. First, we're gonna look at the social issue and the plan that I had going into this project, kind of the stuff that we discussed as a group, the creation of my final project, how I collected data to see the success of it or the effectiveness, and lastly, close with a short 3 to 5 minute discussion. So as you guys may know, I am talking about teacher stress. And I really wanted to capture how contextual stress factors affect teacher and teacher stress, and how that in turn can affect their well-being. And so you'll see in the video I discuss various things, and I kind of touch on different stressors that teachers might experience. Whether it be supplies or parents, curriculum, class size, the budget, dealing with different, administrators, communities, stuff like that. And to do so, I wanted to spread the word by using different mediums. My main one was GoAnimate, which is an animation video maker. And I uploaded it to YouTube, and I used Facebook to advertise my YouTube video of the Go animation that I created. And really, I just expected advocacy. And this is where, social media comes in when we advocate for a social issue. And really that connection between social media and social justice lays right here, in that I'm using social media in order to raise awareness of this issue of teacher well-being, which is not really spoken about very much. Most of all, I'm trying to create support for teachers that are not currently present, and thus create a community of supporters that speak of and have that language of teacher well-being on their lips when they are associating with any topic of education or student achievement or what have you. So one of my main focuses and how I organized my social media activity to directly affect the public was to extend my objective into building an audience for the future. And so I created a tag name, which is @caringforteachers, and I created a Facebook out of it, I created a YouTube out of it, I created a Gmail, and I created a Twitter. And really, my main objective here was to not only create the support and community, but have track of it so that I can continue to influence it. Now, when it comes to the creation of it, I had quite a bit of difficulty, but it was actually pretty fun, just seeing it all come together and the reactions that people had to my video. So again, as I said, I used GoAnimate, and the reason why I used this in particular, I want to delve into a little bit more, is one, for its diversity. There's a lot of characters on GoAnimate that are customizable, and it represents an array of race and gender. There's also a tone. The animations really allow for a lot of emphasis on emotions that sometimes it's almost comical. Like, for instance, I would have a teacher just cry. Rather than having a real life person do it, it's going to be pretty difficult to have them sincerely cry when I could just go through a down arrow and click a bunch of different emotions and have my character become that by a click of a button. And it also helps me do a lot of exploration. So with animated video, there is no constraint because there's multiple options, including various backgrounds, scenery, props, characters, audio, all right there by a click of a button. And of course, all to say that this is very cost effective. I can make videos and mini movies without the production costs. So to do so, there are really, about 5 major steps in creating a GoAnimate video. One was my script and storyboard. So I had to really visualize my audience. I thought, okay, at the end of my video, what do I want them to think or feel or do? That right there is my objective. And then I break that into smaller steps, and that is my content outline. So that's my storyboard. Then the creative part comes about, which is coming up with the visual elements to carry out these content points. And then the animations is where I give the characters life. I put movement into my props if need be. And then sound. Audio is very important because I have my background music going. It kind of rids of any awkward silence that may be happening. And it also gives a lot of sound effects to really emphasize certain movements and certain feelings that I'm trying to extract from my characters, seeing that they may be sometimes limited to their movement. So audio really helps with that. And you'll see some of that also in my video. And lastly, publishing. I had a very horrible time publishing. That's a very long story. We could talk about it in discussion. But really, I guess one of the questions, later on is, what can I do to improve this? I would have liked to create my storyboard and storyline a lot earlier because I didn't think I would run into this many issues. And I'll show you some of the errors that I ran across. But this is kind of what it looks like, what the background is, and the technicality of it. You'll see on the first line below is kind of my scenery, the props, and then the blue line represents the sound that I had in there. The green one represents my voice that I had in there. The purple represents sound effects that I had. So this is kind of what it looks like in the creator's visual. Some of the errors that I ran into, just to be more specific, I dealt with a lot of processing and publishing and exporting into YouTube, saying that I don't have a YouTube account, and then I got blocked from the internet altogether. And even posting on iMovie, I had a hard time. It restarted 4 times. So despite all that, I would like to present to you my creation, my Go Animate video on teacher well-being. Here is my creation. Curriculum changes, grading papers, 1 classroom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 home, evaluations.
She breathes too much.
Children's safety. Slow down. Oh, let's not forget people, parents, principals, districts, community, children. Whew. Budget for resources, supplies, pencils, pens, paper, technology implementation. Oh, those iPhones, iPads, iMacs, everything, and deadline. That's just covering half of a teacher's day. By the time they get home, then they have personal stressors they have to deal with. Studies have shown lists and lists of different types of stressors that teachers deal with daily. They don't have much time to recuperate. This definitely does a number on their mind and their body. As a matter of fact, in a 2012 poll, nearly 70% of the 7,200 K-12 teachers surveyed did not feel engaged in their work and were unlikely to devote much, if any, discretionary effort to their work.
Red alert! Red alert! Red alert!
Our children are watching and in some form or another may be experiencing the effects of our teachers burning out. So what can we do about it? Well, you can start by simply having some conversations about teacher stress and their well-being. Spread the word. Bring some awareness. Support your local teachers by giving them a smile or asking how you may help. Simply care. As a matter of fact, you can start the conversations right here below. Share your thoughts on teacher stress, and feel free to reach us at Caring for Teachers on Twitter, Facebook, and Gmail. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Stress less, smile more, and enjoy life. Okay, so as I said, I did want to limit the video to 2 minutes, and I successfully did that. So my data, I posted this video on YouTube and Facebook, and I also hashtagged it and put it out in Twitter. On YouTube, I created a Caring for Teachers account, and as of 12 o'clock today, the 3rd of December, I got 137 views, 13 comments, 9 likes, and 5 subscribers. My participants really met my objectives very well, because I noticed in the 13 comments that I saw just on YouTube alone, and I'll share more about Facebook, there was change in the participants' attitudes because of this video. And I posted some of the comments from YouTube first. You'll see Marina said, "Oh my God, I really took my teachers for granted. I never even thought about their personal lives, such an eye-opener." One person said, "Great job on the video, the animation. It really helps bring awareness to teacher stressors." And then I also got to engage in some conversations with people. One person said, "I never knew so much went into being a teacher. It's surprising." And I said, right, it wasn't until I worked at a school that I found out the truth behind the doors. One person even said that I never really thought about all the things this video touched on. Teachers are incredible. And I said, "You remember not thinking my teachers were actual people growing up." So just this conversation initiator by an animation video on YouTube is kind of amazing to me. And, one person said it's very educational. One person is reminiscing on his past teacher and said, "Oh my God, my heart goes out to Ms. Goodwin." And I followed up with that person, and they said that him and a few other people back in first grade made Miss Goodwin cry, and they can kind of see what else was going on behind the scenes. This is my Facebook. I reactivated my personal Facebook because I have, a lot of people on there. I have about 700 friends, I believe. And I put my first animation, "Love You Teachers," and I also didn't really cover the title that I use for my YouTube is "My Teacher is Stressed." Stressed out teachers. Now there's a concept. Teachers losing their minds. I think I know why. So I really wanted to have a catchy title to have people click it more. And again, as of 12 o'clock, I had about 12 people like my personal video, 3 or 4 shares directly. Here are some of the shares that were made. Actually, it was more than 3 shares, but I don't know why Facebook didn't capture that. But here's about 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And also some of them left comments before they shared it. One saying, "This video really helped me get a better understanding on how stressful teachers can be. Now being in high school, I wouldn't want to cause more stress to my teachers' plate and give them full respect." That is exactly what I was looking for, is to create that conversation among people who are not aware of teacher stress. And this being their first reaction is, I'm going to be more aware and be more cognizant of my actions towards teachers, whether it be in high school or parent or what have you. Lastly, on Twitter, I created a Twitter account and I followed 13 new people as under Caring for Teachers rather than my first Twitter account that I created. And I automatically got 3 followers as soon as I put the video up. And one of them was called The Groovy Teacher, which I thought was, well, pretty groovy. Lastly, I just want to close with a class discussion. I thank you guys for looking at my video, and I just really wanted to throw this out to you. How can you utilize the Go Animate tool in your future presentations if you find that interesting? And or how do you think today's children or teenagers would react to professional animations utilized in the education scene or the professional scene or the job force or other places other than just cartoon per se? And thirdly, how is social media going to take over our classrooms in the near future? I know we've discussed that a lot, but just seeing animations ability to teach something kind of takes me to a different place. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Thank you again for watching, and yeah, let's get this discussion going. Thank you.